Welcome to Of Men, For Men. Here we'll discuss issues pertaining to the modern day man. Subjects like health, wealth, lifestyle, gear, and relationships. So join me as we dive into the world of men for men. Hello, and welcome to the Of Men For Men podcast. I am your host, James Rodney Lee Max. Yeah. All right, yeah. Come on in. Kick back. Relax. Rub yourself a cold one. All right. Another episode. Man, we're doing pretty good. Hey, I want to thank each and every single one of you that has ever listened to the podcast, whether it's regular or just occasional, or maybe just that one time. We have reached, and I say this, it's collective. I didn't do it. You did. We have reached 10,000 total plays. Man, what is the world coming to? Man, I appreciate it. Man, give yourself a round of applause. Yeah, all right. Come on now. Come on, you get, oh yeah. Man, alive. Man, I appreciate it, man. I really do. Like I said, I started this just, almost on a whim, just to do it. Something I wanted to do. And like I said, a couple years ago, the coof came around and we still coofing. We still coofing. And, and here we are. 10,000 plays later. Wow. Man, I appreciate the hell out of it, man. You guys are doing awesome. So, apparently there's at least, one or two of y'all out there that enjoy it. Oh, man alive. All right. Like I said, I try to be entertaining if not informative, right? Some of you probably just, tune in just to listen to me cut up. And that's fine. I appreciate it. All right, let's get into the, enough of me running off. Let's get into the actual episode. I want to talk about conflict, gentlemen. We all deal with conflict all the time. It's daily. We deal with conflict. All right. Now, how you handle conflict says a lot about you. Says a lot about your character. Right? And you can be there's basically two ways, maybe three. You can be passive about it and just don't deal with it at all. And then people just kind of run over you and disrespect you all the time and just disregard you, and you just, you can be passive aggressive about it. Be sneaky and get back at them in other ways. You can do that. But generally speaking, you can be passive, or you can be aggressive, or should I say assertive. You don't want to be passive about it, man. You guys are all badasses, each and every one of you. You are the man. You are the alpha. You are the one. Take control of your life. Don't let other people, control you. Everybody's trying to, especially it seems like, in today's world, everybody's trying to control what other people do, and that's crazy. Everybody needs to live life on their own terms. All right. So don't get disrespected. Don't get run over. But that doesn't mean, you need to be in, constant conflict with people. Okay. There's no reason to do that. There's ways of handling conflict. Okay. You don't have to get in arguments and start shouting at each other and or getting physical and trying to beat each other up. That's unnecessary. There's ways you can be strong, be assertive, be an alpha, and respectfully, defend your point, defend yourself. Whatever position it is, that you're trying to make a point. So here's what I suggest, and I learned this in the military, and I haven't always been good at this, especially once I got out in the service, and everybody in the service, everybody kind of mutually respects one another to a certain degree. I mean, we laugh and cut up and, talk shit to one another, poke fun at each other, but it's all in fun. But generally speaking, we all, have a, decent amount of respect for each other because we're all in the same damn boat. We're all in the shit together. So you have to learn tact, ways of speaking to people. So that they're receptive to what you're saying. Because you don't want to get in a knockdown, drag out argument, and this works for whether it's at work or a personal relationship, or even just somebody walking by and spilling your drink or stepping on your toe or what have you. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be necessarily somebody it could be a stranger, but you can use these things anytime conflict arises, whether it's something small or something big. Excuse me. You can use these. We used to call them in the service. We called them IPC skills, interpersonal communication skills, interpersonal communication skills, IPC skills, and that's a way to talk to somebody calmly, respectfully, and get them to do what you want them to do, or having them see what it is that you're trying to convey. Okay, we call that, you got to use tact. I as being an MP, military police, I would have to tell senior enlisted folks and officers, because they tend to think because they have a certain rank that they're in control of the situation. And once I show up, that's no longer the case. Once I've been called, to a location and there's something going on, they don't have control over it anymore. I do, and sometimes they forget that. And sometimes I'd have to tell them that, and a lot of times they don't like that. They see that as disrespect. But as long as you don't raise your voice and try to be commanding and demanding, you can respectfully tell them what's going on, how this is going to go. And then if they have a complaint, they can raise that complaint. But as long as you've done your job and you've done it correctly and you haven't been disrespectful to them, then they got no case. I had that one time with a sergeant major. I had to explain to him some things, and he was disrespecting my soldiers who were, trying to correct him. And then I showed up, and as a supervisor, and I tried to explain to him what was going on, respectfully, tactfully, using my IPC skills, and he didn't like it. And he was like, well, I'm going to talk to your sergeant major. I said, that's fine, because when I leave here, I'm going to go see him too. And of course, by the time I got to my sergeant major's office, he was waiting on me. He expected me, because the guy had already called. He didn't waste no time. See, but and my sergeant major, God bless him, good man. He said, you ain't done nothing wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. I appreciate you, Sergeant Lee Max. You did a good job. And I told him, if he harassed or didn't listen to any more of my soldiers, my MPs, that I would personally lock his ass up. That made me feel good, That was one day I won, see. But also, on another note, It ain't always about winning and losing. You don't always, it's not all or nothing. You know, when you're in conflict and you're trying to reach a resolution, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to reach a resolution. You're trying to reach some kind of resolution. And it's not a I win, you lose, or you win and I lose. You know, try to find some common ground. Try to find the win-win. Try to find the win-win. Where you know, even if you have to give up something, you know, a little concession, try to find where you, at least where, or at least where you both feel that you are. You know, if you can make the other person feel like, you know, they come out on top, well, then you won. Even if they didn't, right? You know, sometimes, you know, you have to give up a little something. So you try to find a resolution. Try to find. You can't always do it. You know, sometimes, you know, you can't. But try to find a win-win in there somewhere. And you have to know when to just walk away from it sometimes. Sometimes there is no resolution. The other person is heated. They're aggravated. You know, they're raising their voice. They're unconsolable. You can't talk to them. They're not listening at all. And sometimes you just, you know, hey, we're just going to have to discuss this at another time. You know, nothing's happening here. This is not being resolved. You know, this is not conducive, you know, to the relationship, to work, or whatever it is. You know, this is bad. Let's take a break and let's come back together. At a better time. You know, let cooler heads prevail. You know, don't get upset. Don't get upset. Because as soon as you lose your cool, you lose. Right? Don't get upset. Remain calm. You know, take a deep breath. Right? As long as you remain calm and you don't raise your voice, you're in a good place. As soon as you lose your cool, raise your voice, you know, and start yelling and, you know, getting out of hand, you've lost already. You've lost. And you don't want to do that. That used to happen a lot. Like, I don't know, I used to get called out to domestic, you know, what we call domestic. You know, a wife and, you know, husband and wife, you know, they having an argument or whatever. You know, and then we, you know, and I could feel for it. You know, they probably, you know, they just having issues and they get in an argument and then somebody calls, you know, the station and we go out there and, you know, ain't no need, you know, MPs are not going to be able to fix their problems, right? And then if you take the soldier down or what have you to the station and charge him with anything, that's just going to compound the damn problem. So a lot of times I just take him back to his unit, you know, and I'd say, look here, you know, we just, you know, y'all take some time, you know, y'all think about everything, take him to his unit, call his first sergeant or a CO and say, hey, you know, I got your soldier here, you know, they was having a little issue at home and, you know, I'm going to leave him here at the barracks and he spend the night here and, you know, everybody calm down, you know, then they can work on it, you know, in the morning. And of course they would love that because that'd keep them out of the blotter and they wouldn't have to answer, you know, why is your soldiers in trouble? It's good PR for us. For me, you know, keeps him out of trouble, and it doesn't compound his problem, and it gives him a little bit of time to cool off and think about it, you know, and then, you know, the next day, after they done cooled off a little bit and thought about it, then they can kiss and make up, right? So sometimes you just have to walk away, and that's fine. So when you're in the heat of battle, sometimes it feels like that, don't it? Like I said, don't take stuff personally. You know, I haven't always been good. You know, usually, you know, you feel like when there's some conflict, like it's a personal attack. Don't take it personally. It's not personal. Now, sometimes it can get personal. Some people, In the middle of an argument, in the middle of a discussion, in the middle of whatever, they'll take a cheap shot and make it personal. That's when okay, we were talking about this and now we're talking about that. All right. So don't lose it over that either. Just say, you know what, that's probably when you need to disengage, because once it goes personal, you're no longer on the subject. We're not talking apples, we're talking oranges now, see? So that's probably the best time to disengage. Okay, if we're gonna make it personal, then we no longer need to talk about this. We'll talk about it later. So don't take it personal, unless it is personal. Don't let people disrespect you now. I'm not saying don't stand up for yourself. You should. That's the most manly thing you can do, is speak up for yourself. Stand your ground. Speak up for yourself. But don't take it personal. Like I said, try to find the win-win. And the biggest thing you want to do when you're in the middle of it, when you're having this conflict, you want to listen. You want to listen to what that other person, and don't listen just so, okay, yeah, whatever, and you're not really listening, just so you can turn around and say what you want to say. Listen to what they're saying. That way you can find that resolution, that win-win. Find out what their problem is with you, or with what you're doing, or with whatever. Find out what their issue is. Listen to them. Right? And then don't just, as soon as they stop talking, you start talking. Think about what you're going to say. Think about what you're going to say before you say it. Don't do the non-filter, straight from the brain, straight to the mouth. Filter what you're going to say. Use those IPC skills. Be tactful with what you're going to say. Be respectful. Be calm. As long as you're calm, you're pretty much the one in control, right? That other person that's out of control, they're not in charge of nothing, because they're out of control. You want to be calm, right? You want to be calm during the whole thing. So listen, think about what you're going to say, and then when you say it, be tactful, be respectful, use those IPC skills. You can tell somebody to go F themselves without telling them to go F theyself, right? That's really what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You want to be tactful with what you're saying, right? What do we say down here in the South? Oh, bless your heart. Now, that could mean F you, and that could really mean thank you, bless your heart, right? It can mean lots of different things. You could be just being dismissive with somebody, or you could be telling them that they're stupid. I had somebody, try to tell me what that means, and they weren't from the South. I'm like, well, now, bless your heart. You're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about, because you don't know. That could mean lots of different things, depending on the situation and how you mean it. And a lot of times it's not, what you say, right? It's how you say it. Like I said, be calm. Don't, you want to be firm, but you don't want to be stern or abusive, Be firm, be assertive, but don't be abusive with your language. Your language, don't get upset, start cussing and stuff like that. Be assertive, be firm in what you're saying. Listen, think, and then speak. Right? Listen, think, and then speak. Right? Don't just listen just so, okay, all right, you're done. Okay, now I'm going to say what I want to say. Because nobody's listening, see? You're both just, bap, 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 bap at one another. Nobody's hearing shit. Right? So, those are some of the elements that I just wanted to get across to you, gentlemen. Like I said, how you handle conflict, that's not, it's a crash course. That's what we do here. We do crash courses. It's not the end all be all of how to handle conflict. There's articles and videos all over the place that'll tell you how to handle conflict. That's just a crash course, right? That's just stuff I'm throwing out there for you to think about, something that you may not have thought about, something that might spur, some other thoughts in your head. Oh yeah, okay, well that makes you think about this, that, and the other. And that's all we're doing here, gentlemen. This is not an authoritative podcast or show or what have you. I'm not an expert. I wouldn't even call myself an expert at life. I'm an expert at being me. Good, bad, or indifferent, right? And that's what I want you to do. I want you to be you. I want you to live life on your terms. Do it how you want to do it. I'm just here to throw some stuff out there, that might help you along the way. And that's the best I can do. All right? All right, my friends. Check out the social media sites, the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Now, if you want to know politics, go to Twitter. Twitter's a dumpster fire, but I do enjoy it. But that's if I do politics, I do it on Twitter, because that's where it's going to happen. If you want other stuff, go to Facebook, Instagram, Gab, Parler, and Locals. I do a lot of videos and stuff on Gab, Parler, and Locals. And the YouTube of Men for Men podcast. YouTube, you got the audiograms there. If you'd like to reach me, ask me anything, questions, comments, smart remarks, you can reach me at ofmenformen@gmail.com. And if you'd like to support the podcast, you can do so on the link right there on the app where you're at. All right? I appreciate it, gentlemen. You guys are fantastic. I have been James Rodney Lee Max, and you have been great. Yeah. All right. This will be a weekly podcast. You can find it on the Anchor app and anywhere podcasts are available. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. I look forward to seeing you there.